Imagine walking into the most important job interview of your life. You have spent years preparing. You have won awards. You have broken records. You have done everything right. And then the experts look you in the eye and say, "You're not good enough." Now, imagine that 199 other men got the job before you, that the people evaluating you wrote in their official report that you were bony, had a poor build, and lacked the arm strength to compete at the highest level. And now imagine that same man, humiliated, dismissed, passed over, went on to win 7 Super Bowl championships, more than any other quarterback in NFL history. This is not a fairy tale. This is Tom Brady's real story, and his story is just the beginning. Today we are counting down 5 of the greatest players the NFL has ever seen. Men who were publicly told they were not good enough, not fast enough, not strong enough, or simply the wrong color. Men who took that rejection and turned it into the fuel that changed football history forever. Stay with us until the very end, because the 5th story on this list is one that most NFL fans have completely forgotten. And it might be the most powerful rejection story ever told in the history of professional football. There are moments in NFL history that make every talent evaluator look back and cringe. But nothing as comes close to what happened on April 16th, 2000, in the 6th round of the NFL Draft. Tom Brady, quarterback out of the University of Michigan, sat at home watching 6 other quarterbacks get selected before him. 6. When the New England Patriots finally called his name with the 199th overall pick, Brady was so far down the board that scouts did not even bother to hide their contempt. One scout's complete evaluation of Tom Brady was a single word, as reported by writer Rick Gosselin of the Dallas Morning News: awful. That was the full review. Not a sentence, not a paragraph. One word: awful. The official NFL Scouting Combine report was barely more generous. Brady measured 6'4" and 211 pounds, but ran the 40-yard dash in 5.28 seconds. The second slowest time among all quarterbacks at the 2000 Combine, and slower than 15 offensive linemen who were tested that same week. His vertical jump was just 24.5 inches. The official scouting bullet points, later published by Brady himself on Instagram, read like a list of reasons not to draft a player: poor build, lacks great physical stature and strength, lacks mobility and ability to avoid the rush, lacks a really strong arm, can't drive the ball downfield, gets knocked down easily. An NFC scout told reporters at the time he was just very common and bony, you can see his ribs. ESPN's Mel Kiper Jr., one of the most respected draft analysts in the business, ranked Brady as just the 10th best quarterback in the entire 2000 class. Brady joined the Patriots as the 4th-string quarterback. He was never supposed to start. He was never supposed to matter. But in week 2 of the 2001 season, Drew Bledsoe went down with an injury, and everything changed. Brady stepped in, and he never gave the job back. He won Super Bowl 36 in his first season as a starter. By the time he retired after the 2022 season, Brady had 7 Super Bowl titles, 3 NFL MVP awards, and was widely recognized as the greatest quarterback who ever lived. 212 players were drafted after Tom Brady in that 2000 class. Not one of them achieved anything close to what this awful, poor, bony backup quarterback accomplished over 23 seasons. Before we continue, here's a question for the comments. Who do you think had the more unlikely rise? Tom Brady or the man in this next chapter? Let us know below, because this next story might just change your answer. In the summer of 1994, Kurt Warner was 23 years old and had just been cut from the Green Bay Packers training camp. He was competing for a roster spot against Brett Favre, Mark Brunell, and Heisman Trophy winner Ty Detmer, and the Packers did not think he was in their league. With no NFL team interested and no football income, Warner did what he had to do. He took a job at a Hy-Vee grocery store in Cedar Falls, Iowa, stocking shelves on the night shift from 9:30 p.m. to 4 a.m. for $5.50 an hour. Every single morning after his shift, he drove to his old college and trained alone, still believing, against all evidence, that he would one day start in the NFL. The Arena Football League gave him a small window. Warner signed with the Iowa Barnstormers in 1995 and dominated. He was named to the All-Arena First Team in 1996 and 1997, which eventually earned him a futures contract with the St. Louis Rams. But even then, the Rams had him ranked as their 3rd-string quarterback. They even left him unprotected during the NFL expansion draft, meaning they did not think enough of Warner to bother keeping him. No team claimed him. Then the 1999 preseason arrived. Starting quarterback Trent Green tore his ACL. Warner got his shot. What followed was one of the greatest single seasons a quarterback has ever played. Warner threw for 4,353 yards and 41 touchdowns, leading the St. Louis Rams, nicknamed the greatest show on turf, to a 13-3 regular season record. Sports Illustrated put him on their October 18th cover with the caption, "Who is this guy?" because the entire country genuinely did not know. In Super Bowl 34 against the Tennessee Titans, Warner threw for a Super Bowl record 414 yards and was named the game's MVP. The Rams won 23-16. He won 2 NFL MVP awards in 1999 and 2001. He went to 3 Super Bowls with 2 different franchises. And in 2017, the man who stocked grocery shelves for minimum wage was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He remains the only undrafted quarterback in NFL history to win both NFL MVP and Super Bowl MVP. If Tom Brady's story makes scouts look foolish and Kurt Warner's story makes them look blind, then Warren Moon's story makes the entire NFL look its darkest. Because Moon's Hall of Fame induction ceremony in 2006, in 1978, when Warren Moon was being scouted, a number of NFL personnel strongly suggested to me he would have a better chance for success if he would change his playing position. In certain football circles, there was doubt as to the ability or desirability of an African American to master the high-profile quarterback position. In plain language, the NFL did not want a black starting quarterback. Moon was told by multiple teams to switch positions. He refused. And since no NFL team would draft him as a quarterback, he crossed the border. He signed with the Edmonton Eskimos of the Canadian Football League in 1978. What Moon did in Canada was historic. Over 6 seasons, he threw for 21,228 yards and led the Eskimos to 5 consecutive Grey Cup championships from 1978 through 1982, a record that still stands in the CFL to this day. In 1983, he threw for 5,648 yards in a single season, setting an all-time professional football record. When Moon finally entered the NFL in 1984, signing with the Houston Oilers, he set the franchise record for passing yards in his very first season with 3,338. He went on to earn 9 Pro Bowl selections, led the league in passing yards twice, and retired holding several all-time professional football records. In 2006, he became the first African-American quarterback ever inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The NFL rejected Warren Moon because of the color of his skin. Moon made sure the game of football would never be able to forget what they almost threw away. Before we get to the final 2 stories, we want to ask you something. Which one of these rejections do you think was the most unfair? Brady's, Warner's, Moon's? Drop your answer in the comments right now. We read every single one. And if this video is hitting different for you today, hit that subscribe button. We have a lot more stories like these coming. The NFL draft has a tradition. Every year, the very last player selected gets a nickname, Mr. Irrelevant. The name says everything about how the league views that player. A courtesy pick, someone drafted not because teams believe in him, but simply because the draft must end. Most Mr. Irrelevants never play a single regular season snap. In April 2022, in Las Vegas, the San Francisco 49ers selected Iowa State quarterback Brock Purdy with the 262nd and final pick of the entire draft. Pick number 262. Out of 262, the last player on the board. A wealth manager, a payroll specialist, and a tractor company employee had all been rated as superior quarterbacks to Purdy in their high school recruiting class. In the days after the draft, fans paid money at charity events to roast him as Mr. Irrelevant. Purdy, speaking to reporters years later, smiled and said, "I'm curious about that. It was all fun and games with them roasting me. Now I'm playing in the Super Bowl." How did we get from charity roast to Super Bowl? Simple. Opportunity and proof. In just 13 weeks of his rookie season, both the first-string quarterback, Trey Lance, and the second-string quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, suffered season-ending injuries. Purdy stepped in. He did not just survive, he thrived. He won all 5 regular season games he started, led the 49ers to the NFC West title, and became the only rookie quarterback since Aaron Rodgers to post a quarterback rating above 115 in his first 2 career starts. In the 2023 season, Purdy led the 49ers to Super Bowl 58, becoming the first Mr. Irrelevant ever to start a Super Bowl and throw a touchdown pass on the grandest stage in football. He led the league in multiple passing categories. The 49ers signed him to a $265 million contract extension in 2025. The last pick of the draft, a $265 million extension. That is the Brock Purdy story. Here's the story that most NFL fans under the age of 40 have completely forgotten. And it might be the most important one on this list. In 1955, a young quarterback out of the University of Louisville named Johnny Unitas was drafted in the 9th round by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was cut before the regular season even began. The Steelers told him he simply was not good enough. Unitas spent the next season playing semi-pro football for the Bloomfield Rams in Pittsburgh for just $6 per game. The Baltimore Colts signed him in 1956 for a small tryout fee. What followed changed the NFL forever. Unitas became the most dominant quarterback of his era, leading the Colts to back-to-back NFL championships in 1958 and 1959. The 1958 championship game against the New York Giants, a 23-17 overtime victory, is still called the greatest game ever played and is credited with turning professional football into the nation's most popular sport. Unitas threw touchdown passes in 47 consecutive games, a record that stood for over 4 decades. He was a 3-time NFL MVP, a 10-time Pro Bowl selection, and was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1979. He is widely considered the man who defined what it means to be a professional quarterback in the modern era. The Pittsburgh Steelers cut him after 1 summer. He went on to change professional football itself. Tom Brady, Kurt Warner, Warren Moon, Brock Purdy, Johnny Unitas, 5 men, 5 rejections, 5 legacies that will outlast everyone who doubted them. The lesson from every single one of these stories is the same. The people evaluating talent are not always right. Scouts miss, GMs miss, entire organizations miss. The ones who make history are the ones who refuse to let someone else's opinion become their reality. Now we want to hear from you. Which player's rejection story hit hardest? And is there a name we left off this list? Drop it in the comments right now. If you want more stories like this, the dark side of the NFL, the careers that almost never happened, and the records nobody talks about, subscribe to the channel. We drop new videos every week. We will see you in the next one.